Amy Wallace. I am an inspirational speaker and professional officiant. How many of you are aware that you have the power to change any circumstance in your life living inside of you right now? I'm going to share a story with you about how I came to know that power living inside of myself. Go back with me, if you will, to April 1992. I was 20 years old, a college student. It was a beautiful spring day. The skies were blue, the sun was shining, the birds were chirping, the flowers were blooming. You could smell new birth, new life in the air. It was one of those beautiful spring days. And I was singing along with Reba McEntire in my car, loud and proud as I do, and I decided to feel my voice box vibrate for some weird reason. But what I felt instead was something that looked and felt like a golf ball sitting on top of my collarbone. What started as an incredible spring day turned into a diagnosis of Hodgkin's disease. Late stages, final stages, actually is what they called that. And I quickly went from a beautiful car ride in the sunshine to a car ride with my mom after surgery, where I insisted she tell me, what did they say, what did they say, what did they say? My mom sat stoic, face forward, white knuckling 10 and 2 on her steering wheel and said, "They didn't say much, Amy." It would be a couple of days before I actually learned what they said to my parents, which was, "I suggest you make memories with your daughter." My parents are of the stubborn breed, and that apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we didn't take that as our plan. We decided to find a doctor that would treat the cancer. We interviewed about 6 doctors until we met Dr. Morgan. Dr. Morgan was a super kind, gentle, wise man. And he said, "Amy, I'm going to give you enough medicine every week to nearly kill you, and you're going to decide if you live or die." What he meant by I would decide if I lived or died was that my attitude would make a difference on whether or not that medicine worked in my body. And they would determine each week if I was healthy enough to have the medicine. He would come into the room every single week and say, "Looks like you had a nice week. Tell me about it. Your tumor shrank." And I'd tell him about my week. Or he'd come in and say, "Looks like you had a rough week. You want to talk about it? Your tumors didn't shrink." It was amazing to me because he was right every single time. I had, in fact, had a good week or a bad week. That was true. I didn't fully understand what he was talking about, but I went with it. It was kind of cool. Until a point that I decided I was kind of done with this. I was tired. There was a lot going on in my life. I didn't have the luxury of just having cancer. I had a lot of other things going on too, and I just couldn't find the reason to continue the fight. So I went to Dr. Morgan and I said, "Hey, I have a new plan." And he said, "Okay, what is it?" And I said, "I quit. I think I'm going to find honor in the surrender." And he said, "Yeah, how about this?" And sent me home to think about another option. I was really pissed off. I'm just going to be honest. I was pissed because I wanted to quit, and not even that was going to be easy for me. So I went home that evening, and my girls were sitting on the floor, shoulder to shoulder, watching Winnie the Pooh, which they did every single day. You know the song, "Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear" is forever in my mind. They sat there shoulder to shoulder watching Winnie the Pooh, and I decided I would have a little talk with God. I've always been a prayer, I guess a timid prayer, you might call me. I was sweet in my approach most all of the time. I was certain that's how I would get what I wanted, right? This time I approached it a little bit differently. This time that prayer went a little something like, "Okay, look, dude, I'm over this. Tell me what to do. Make it loud, make it clear. Don't want a soft whisper in the wind. Forget your fleeting signs that I may miss. I don't want any of that. Make it loud, make it clear. Don't give me any chance to argue with what am I supposed to do? Do I stay in this fight?" I had a sister. She was 27, and I had decided she would be a better option to raise my daughters. See, she was perfect, had always been perfect. She had everything going for her. And I was 20 years old and had nothing going for me, right? So I just said, look, am I supposed to raise my girls? Am I supposed to be their mother, or is someone else supposed to be their mother? Tell me loud, make it clear. And in that moment, with earth-shattering stillness and deafening silence, the air in that room thinned. Those girls, once sitting shoulder to shoulder, were now sitting cheek to cheek, and they looked at me. Not exactly like I'm looking at you right now. They looked at me. They looked right inside of me. My soul opened in that moment. And I got my answer. As they turned around and continued Winnie the Pooh, I was pinned back against that couch. And I knew that I was their mother. And I was not only going to fight this fight, I was going to win. And at that moment, Grace started showing up for me. The very next day, Grace showed up in the form of a book, Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And through that book, I not only learned how to be their mother, I learned how to really love myself. Grace showed up to me in another way. I love to dance. I love to Texas swing. But I wasn't doing any of that. I was too sick and I didn't have a dance partner, and a dance partner showed up in a grocery store one day. So now I was doing chemo on Thursday afternoons and I was dancing on Thursday nights. The girls and I lived with my dad, which was really wonderful, but we wanted a home of our own, and an apartment opened up for us and we had our own space. So with all of that, I'm here to tell you that if you will be open to it, you possess the life-saving power within yourself.